Hello to the good people and to the bad people, friends and enemies. And good morning, boom shakalaka to all of you out there. I am Chris Base. This is Baseline. We do this every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, and 5 a.m. Pacific time. Just too early. Hold on one second, be right back. Already a complication with the show. Hang on a second. Okay, so there you go. Let's see what we got here. I haven't talked to this brother in a long time. Good morning, brother. Good morning to Michael Craybill. Oh, Michael Craybill, and I'm very biased when I say the following: the best drive service I have ever experienced. And I haven't got a chance to go anywhere recently, but the man does his job, and he has a great limousine, quote unquote, car service. Michael, would you please type in information for people to contact you because just a wonderful brother and a wonderful service. What can I say? Good to have you here, man. Thank you for being here. Also, good morning to Sick Diggy and Boom Shakalaka to you as well, brother. How you doing? And of course, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh man, let me get some of this tea. Usually, we take things for granted. So I got some tea. I'm usually drinking this blackberry citrus with some lemon wedges and equal, and it's very aromatic, man. It's very nice. Ah, that's good. Ah, just good. Programming note, Pastor Donovan Price will join us in the bottom of this hour, in the first hour. Usually joins us in the top of the second hour. He would join us at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Central. So that's coming up. It's got mementos. Hope you were doing well. Been an interesting week to say the very least. So let's break down the week. We didn't have CBI on Wednesdays. We did a special baseline breakdown. Kevin McCarthy being ousted the House Speaker. We talked about that. Also, we talked about that as well today, if you like. Snowman in the morning. I do every Friday at 10:35 Central a.m. And I get on there, of course, with Brian Snow, Cole Johnson, and YSL Hefe. And once again, fantastic brothers. And I'm very blessed to be around good people. And I never take it for granted. What do you say, Sick? Must be some good tea. My mother's an avid tea drinker. Yeah, I started getting the tea when I got into broadcasting because, again, it's supposed to help out with your throat. So you get that, get some good hot tea, traditional lemon and honey, if you like, depending how your taste buds are supposed to help with your throat, and it does. Uh, I found this once again. This is blackberry citrus. I found this. I think it was Lipton's raspberry tea, which was great. I had to go back and get that. That was nice. So you see in the bottom of the screen there for you to get contact with me today and in general when we do this program. Call me if you're ever so bold at 312 597 2106. Again, 312 597 2106. Instagram on the gram there. I am the base. Also on YouTube, make sure you go to the Chris Base channel. Make sure you, first of all, you subscribe because, again, we're trying to build something here and I need you to do it. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share on the YouTube there. And good morning also to King Omar. King Omar, thank you for being here. So, interesting. While you were sleeping, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We are at war and we will win it." As the country's Air Force strike began, as Hamas targets started in Gaza early this morning in response to a surprise assault on the 50th anniversary of the start of 1973 Yom Kippur War. Hamas militants infiltrated Israeli territory from the Gaza Strip, including by paraglider and over the sea, and launched more than 3,000 rockets, Israeli military leaders said. Confrontation, which killed at least 40 Israelis and injured at least 740, is one of the most serious in years, following weeks of rising tensions along the volatile border. A militant group in Gaza, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, announced Israeli soldiers were being held captive as Israeli Defense Forces refused to comment on unverified video circling the hostages allegedly being taken by Hamas. The United States said it unequivocally condemns the unprovoked attacks by the Hamas on Israel this Saturday. There is never any justification for terrorism, said the National Security Council spokeswoman Adrienne Watson said in the statement. We stand firmly with the government and people of Israel and extend our condolences for the Israeli lives lost in these attacks. So some of the footnotes to go over as well. At least 22 people killed in a Hamas attack. Israel launches what they call, quote unquote, the Operation Swords of Iron. Israeli Prime Minister says the enemy will pay a price it has never known before. The attacks were by land, sea, and air, as we just described here in the story. So again, this is an ongoing story. Anything changes, we continue to go, of course, give you that. But as you were sleeping, this had happened. And so, again, I keep saying to people and to myself, strange days we're living in, my people. Strange days indeed. Let's see. Um, when you wake up to news like this, obviously don't want it to happen. Obviously, we don't need more bad news, but it just keeps coming and coming. Hamas says that it has captured Israeli soldiers near the Gaza border. Israel conducts airstrikes on Gaza Strip. So, excuse me, just gets worse and worse. And I think what happens is that it gets to a boiling point, to say the very least, when it comes to these countries, especially when they have a history like this, and people unfortunately pay for it. They should not, but they do. And I guess there's always quote quotes, let's send a message. Let's kill people. Okay, what kind of message is that sending? But I digress. Residents of the Gaza Strip were abruptly awakened by the sound of the rockets launched by Hamas in early hours towards Israeli towns and cities. While there has been celebrations in the street and especially along the areas bordering Israel, many residents of the densely populated enclave expressed fear over the Hamas attacks on Israel will mean for them. Hamas military commander called on Arab nations to join the fight against Israel. Mohammed Diaf urged people in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen to start marching now. He added, "It is time for the Arab resistance to unite. We call for the movement towards Palestine, depending on how you say it." See. 6 says 2023 has been an interesting year so far. Yeah, it has. It has. If you're a person that believes in the Bible or some form of religion, you hate to say that it's the end days, but it doesn't look good. And Gaza's residents are going to be bracing for the eventual retaliation, sick types. Absolutely. It's when you look at a country and I don't know about you, but I've seen like other people the videos and still footages on the news, just destruction and death, and you wonder what leads to that type of mindset to say, what, we're going to airstrike. We're talking about 2,200 airstrikes. First, how did they get off all those airstrikes? I mean, that's a huge number. Say the very least, what, 2,200? Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas said Saturday, meaning today, obviously, he had chaired an emergency leadership meeting of security officials in the West Bank following the escalation of the conflict. Israel launched strikes in Gaza in response to the Hamas rockets and infiltration into Israel. Abbas said in a statement that Palestinians had a right to defend themselves against the terrorism of settlers and the occupational forces. It's it hurts, to say the very least. It hurts when you're dealing with people who believe that destruction is the answer, that death is the answer. And we all know that if we try to sit down at least to have a conversation on the side of the table, and so we can prevent things of this nature. As I said, I do believe there's people out there who just want to see the world burn, no matter how many times you try to talk whatever sense you can into them. They don't want to hear it. They just want the world to burn, and with them in it. But I guess it's kind of like being a bully. It's kind of like one sidedness, because you think that since you're the aggressor, that nothing should happen to you, which is very sad in commentary. And let's prepare for a fight type of thing. And this is what it is. Well, going back to what Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said about we are at war. So that's the last thing you want to hear. But unfortunately, these words have been spoken. So this is where they are and we are as just human beings. Ooh, wait. So there you go with that. So again, can you comment on that if you like, or anything else? Once again, it's Free Your Mind Saturday. And have at it. When you free your mind, your ass always follows. I guarantee it. The next hour, we'll reunite with a good friend of mine, Annette Harris. And Annette Harris and I met in our days at Urban Broadcast Media, where she worked at UBM Praise. Had a very strong program called Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. And I've known Annette since that time, and I've seen her flourish outside of UBM, and my UBM family over the years. It continues to make me proud. I was part of a great group of people who had very strong programming and continue to do so. You can't keep a good person down, and nor should you. So I'll reconnect with her in the bottom of the second hour. Excuse me. Let's see. Also, in the next hour, we'll get into the cartoon of the week. And we'll talk about that. If you'd like to submit a cartoon that you want to go over and review, make sure that you do so by, pretty much you hit me on the gram, Instagram. You see that at the bottom of your screen. I am the base, or go to my Facebook page and leave some information there. about cartoons you want to recommend. Now, not don't do it now and don't do it next hour because we want to focus on certain animated stylings from back in the day, Saturday morning cartoons in particular. So between that, I mentioned before, just that in general, because we also have some live programming, quote unquote live action programming from Saturday mornings as well. Was it Land of the Lost? My favorites were always Shazam and ISIS on CBS. So, so again, we want to submit some ideals for cartoon of the week. Go to my Facebook page and leave some information there, or go to the gram at I am the base, and we'll take it from there. As I said before, on we did the baseline breakdown of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy being taken out from that perspective. So it's one of those things where it's in the midst of all what's going on. It's still heavy duty to have seen it unfold, to talk about it still, to see what's going to be the next plan. Because now, of course, they're supposed to have a new speaker next week, and I don't think it's going to happen. They can't even make up their mind what day it is, let alone try to get a new speaker. As I said before, the front runners, the possible new speaker, are Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan, who already put their hats in the proverbial ring. So we will see about that. Let's see. Besides watching the world, some folks are part of a supposed death cult. Martyrdom is something that many are fixated on. It's like a golden ticket to the promised land. Well, Sig, you're right. It goes back to the unfortunate situation with 9/11 when the pilots went into the Twin Towers and beyond and promised all these virgins when they die. It'll be interesting to look on their faces what happened when they died. Where did they go to? Yeah. It's like, hey, wait, this ain't no virgin. I mean, wait, but this is not heaven. My ass is burning. So, oh man, I mean, I would have a nice chuckle over something like that. After all that, yeah, being promised this afterlife of all these virgins. What are you gonna do with 75 virgins? You can't even probably uh, bust a fruit in the grape fight. They're gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight, and or bust anything in general just with one. You talking about 75? Are you kidding me? Yeah, yeah. All right. Watching the world burn down. That's right, sick. It is sick. There's people out there that are like that. They just don't care. And when you don't care, this is what you get. Martyrdom isn't just for the person, it also brings honor and prestige to their family in some societies. Okay. Yeah, Rasta Rock. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, you know what I'm saying though. Just it's amazing what people believe. Same thing with Trump. I mean, it's amazing what people believe and choose to embrace. And it's amazing what Trump said years ago. I could shoot somebody in Madison Square Garden, whatever, and nobody was saying anything. He's right. He hate to say it, but he's right. I said it before on the example. If he was barnstorming as he always does, going back to Trump, and he brought up a quote unquote contestant on the next person on The Price is Right on stage, took out a gun, shot the person in the head, and they fell down dead. After the initial shock, I think the audience would applaud. Now I know it's a I know it's an exaggerated point of view, but I personally believe that because the audience that's fixated on him he can do no wrong, is what my example is leaning towards, and I hope I land the mark on it. It can be said of anybody else, but just using him as an example. That is dangerous territory, because if you can do that, you can do pretty much anything. And I do mean anything. So with all that going on, you wonder, is he, meaning Trump, will do any type of real time? I honestly don't know. It doesn't look like he will. Like I said, I won't believe it till I see it. So let's see. Trump's civil fraud trial will roll ahead next week after the former president lost a bid Friday to halt the proceedings while he fights a pretrial ruling that could strip him of Trump Tower and other marquee properties. An appeals court judge rebuffed Trump's push to pause the New York trial, but agreed to leave him in control of his holdings for now. The decision, after an emergency hearing Friday afternoon, came 5 days into the closely watched trial. Trump went to the courthouse for the first 3 days of the trial in New York. Attorney General Letitia James in lawsuit observing testimony and also looking to the cameras outside about a case he deemed as a witch hunt and disgrace. That's always his go-to. Everything's a damn witch hunt. Trump's lawyers had asked the state's immediate appellate court to suspend the trial and prevent Judge Arthur Engoron from enforcing a rule he made last week. Now, Engoron's decision revoked the Republican presidential frontrunner's business license and puts a court-appointed receiver in charge of his companies. We'll get more into that later on. He is the executive director of crisis intervention / victim advocate at Solutions and Resources. He has committed his life to provide immediate comfort, aid, assist families, individuals, and communities in the wake of violence and or traumatic events. The man who would never let Chicago down. Please welcome back to BaseLine, Pastor Donovan Price. And here he is right here. Hey, good morning, Pastor. How you doing?
Hey, good, and yourself?
Man, I'm good, Doctor. How you feeling? Yes, sir, I can.
Cool. Does it sound better than usual? Like, do I
sound a little
really,
cleaner?
Really cleaner. Yeah.
It sounds really cleaner. Yeah. What you do, Doc?
I have a new microphone. I have that microphone everybody has for podcasts. I forget the name of it, but I got it. You know, the radio.
Is it a Rode mic or something else, man?
Yes. No, it's a Rhodes.
Rode mic, right?
Yeah.
Rode, okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah. So now I can sound like Chris Bates whenever I want to.
Oh, stop it. You don't want to do that. You might get arrested, right?
Right. That's bad when they be like, I'm not sure if that's him. And you talk and they be like, yes, that's him. Let's get him. Get him.
Oh,
like the police
man.
really say that.
God help, Doctor. So, yeah, you always good to see you, man. So I'm glad you're here as always. The floor is yours. Yes, sir.
Actually, I'll first say that for once, I don't know if I've said that the crime is definitely down. It's not crime, but the shootings and killings are definitely down, noticeably down. Of course, we have our days, and even probably maybe our numbers might scare some folk. But it's Saturday, and since October 1st, which was Sunday, 8 have been shot and killed, and that's not good at all. But that's low for us.
Right. Yes, it is.
Shot and wounded 43 for a total shot of 51 people shot and 10 homicides. Of course, we have to include in that the stabbing of the young 16-year-old girl by actually her peers. No other way to put that once you see the video. A crazy one, an overzealous one nonetheless, but still, it was. this week. So there's been shot and killed 8. There have been shot and wounded 43 for a total shot of 51 with 10 homicides. Shot and killed so far this year, 446. Shot and wounded, 1973, 1,973 for a total shot of 2,419 with 499 homicides. And so people may not understand that, but in relation to other years, we're actually very, very low. Let's see if I have that information right here. I don't think I do, but generally I have everything in the, okay. So in 2022, by this time, there were 619. And like I said, we're at 499. 2021, we were at 733. And then 680 in 2020. So 2021 was a very violent year. There were 3,244 by this time. And so we're things are a little lower in terms of shooting and homicides. And I don't really have anything to hardcore qualify why that is. However, I think that the other crimes that are going on, the carjackings, the random robberies, and that play a part in the shooting being lowered. And so not to know that that's just my gut feeling.
Well, it would make sense when you look at the overall crime in the city, and you may have pockets here and there. One spikes up, another one spike at a certain level. So when you look at that perspective, it would make sense that if this one is going down from a perspective of percentages, another one across the street is going up, then it's just a quote unquote law of averages. It's a unfortunate law of averages, a law of averages nonetheless.
Definitely. And well, for one to go up 200% or something like that, then it becomes obvious. A ne'er-do-well is a ne'er-do-well. And also,
Right.
you know, I've said it many times that every kid is not a shooter. Every gang member is not a shooter, but there's a lot of shooters doing the robberies. I also have information that it's a great possibility that they're doing some of these robberies with fake guns.
Mm.
The other night, a kid was found. He had a backpack. His backpack was found, and it had a bunch of guns in it that at that time they said looked like replicas. But
Yeah.
I've never able to follow up and find out if that was the case. But it would make sense, you know, because unfortunately, these people who get robbed and such on the north side in particular, all they had to do is pull out the gun, and these folks is, you know, getting to such a level of as they probably should, as anyone would, get to a level of anxiousness and emotion as a result of that they just run away or throw their purses or wallets or pizzas or whatever it may be. I say pizzas because we do remember that one where they took the guy's pizza and and such. Actually, they just held it for him while he got his wallet and then gave it back to him. And they say
Right.
they was very polite and all of that. That's you know, the chances of something like that being a gun replica are great when you got kids that obviously, you know, are a little better bred.
You know, anytime I hear a gun replica, it gives me chills because back in the day on ABC, there was a show called Starsky and Hutch, these two detectives. And I used to live across the street from a Woolworths. And so one day I'm in Woolworths and they have the plastic replica guns of what Starsky and Hutch had. Starsky had a automatic 45 and Hutch had a 357 Magnum, which was my personal favorite. So they were plastic, just like the guns from TV. I got it. My dad got wind of it and said, "What the hell is this?" And gave me some choice words and cussed me the hell out and told me to throw them away immediately. And I said, "Why?" I was a kid. I was like, "Why?" Because somebody see you on the street with that and think it's a real gun, your ass get shot. And I never
Mm-hmm,
forgot that.
mm-hmm.
And so it's one of those things where if you don't know, you don't know. But I think in today's society, once again, not everybody is shooting. I'll never forget you came on this very program and talked about kids who, again, had guns to protect themselves, not to sit there and say they're going to go around shooting people, but for protection. So if you're out there with replicas, that's also dangerous because again, you could pull it out. Nobody knows the replica. Nobody going to check to see if it's replica or not. They just see a gun.
Right. And then there was a little boy at a play lot. I don't think it was in Chicago, but it was a big deal.
I remember that.
I mean, the police shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
And then everybody made a deal. It's a fake gun. It's a fake gun. You know, how's the police officer supposed to know that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pastor,
That's my report
what?
Of that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say that again.
Go ahead. No. What was your question? I was already finished the subject.
That's all right. Yeah, I was going to say, what's been your accessibility to Mayor Brandon Johnson?
Pretty good. I'm with his cabinet all the time, but I only see him on occasion. Yeah. So,
how's the cabinet meetings been going for so far?
I mean, they're good. They're really bright folk, young, bright folk. You know, and those who don't have a clue are willing to search out those who really do and learn from them. One of the groups I'm working with, they're trying to come up with a plan and a policy toward violence, and they're the type that will. Should we change that comma? Should we change this? You know, they're that detailed, and so I'm lucky to be, very, very, very well respected by them, and as we move forward, then I think we can come up with some stuff that really might. And you don't hear me say that often, but I think we can come up with some stuff that's really, that's because they're my ideas, that could really help some folks here in Chicago, especially on the victim side, which is where I work.
Yes. That sounds good because, again, we always go through back and forth with your process of dealing with the victims and dealing with the analysis and also dealing with the fact of providing, I guess, before the introduction about comfort and aid, and not many people can do that. So this is you on the regular. So when you are a part of a committee that's actually listening, not just there just to be, getting free coffee and donuts, they're actually listening to what you're saying and taking your ideas to heart. That does go a very long way.
Absolutely. And there's some folks on the panel who hate me because I'm very, forthwith with my concepts, ideas, and experiences more than anything. Like I tell them, I'm not making any of this stuff up. There's a lot of folks, tons of folks who talking stuff about Pastor Donovan in Chicago, but ain't nobody trying to take my place. And if they tried to, they wouldn't take it. I heard Ramonski Love say it a long time ago. He said, there's lots of folk that do what I do, but nobody does it like I do. And that sounds like him.
Ramonski was right.
And that's
right. Absolutely.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing because, again, a lot of people, look, Pastor, Doc, how these people can sit there, because it's easy to sit there and talk. Everybody been doing this since the beginning of time. They say talk is cheap. Sometimes BS runs a marathon. So, but when you're actually doing it, boost to the ground, to what you're doing, it cannot be matched. You can play or hate if you want to, or you said before, people on the panel hate. That's their lot in life. You can take the same energy and focus towards something positive. But I digress. But look, man, it's nothing compared to what you do. Like you said before, you said it was a calling. You're called to it. The Spirit moves you to do it. You are the vessel. So look, some people can't handle righteousness, man. They can't do it because there's nothing righteous about themselves, probably from the get-go.
Absolutely. And another thing is they don't believe that righteousness can happen unadulterated. In other words, I serve because that's what I've been doing my entire life. My first, like I say, my first volunteer job was at Little Company of Mary as a candy striper. Don't judge me. When I was seventh grade, and from then on, I've never stopped. My brother and I spent our summers at muscular dystrophy camp with working with the children there, where you have to, each counselor has one kid, and you have to do absolutely everything for that one kid, including wipe his butt, wake up in the middle of the night, turn him over, whatever the case may be. That's what we did during our high school summers.
Hmm.
So service and during the school year, it was mandated by the schools we went to. So it's not news to me.
No, you're not new to this, and far from it. And I think you look back in your timeline, it prepared you for where you are now. To
Oh,
have
absolutely.
love for your fellow man and woman, your love for the human spirit, love for people. And so what you do out of love prepares you, I believe, to what you're doing right now.
Absolutely. And what you do, out of selflessness, I'm just that type. I'm always thinking of the other person. And
Yes.
it becomes annoying sometimes. It's not that it's all fun and games. It's actually to be this way. You're annoying. We all have those things that we're like, whether we're too nice to relatives who ask for money or whatever the case may be. We still
Hmm.
let Uncle Charlie into the barbecue, even though we know he's gonna try to take it over and burn the garage down. Whatever that may
It
be.
has been known.
Right,
Right.
right, right. It's happened. Now that's a fire. Um, so we have
Don't
those.
mess me, boy. Look at that newspaper, get that gasoline, gonna make a fire. Now, back up. Don't
That's
back up. Just watch this fire now. Woo, that's a fire.
right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
That's
Well, I
me.
thought about you in this situation as some of us are now woke up to realize that there's a war going on. Prime Minister Netanyahu said we are at war. Israelis say at least 22 people were killed in a Hamas attack. This goes back to the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War that started in 1973. And I thought about you when I was reading about this. Your thoughts, Pastor, on what's going on over there?
Well, first of all, I think that Christians and those who know that what happens in Israel is very important. We want to holler out. We're living in the last days. We don't even know what the last days are. We don't know what it takes to come to them. But
Right.
watching Israel's fights, Israel's battles and struggles have a lot to do with what the Bible says, in particular about the last days. And so, what goes on in Israel goes on to us, even though we may not think so.
Yeah.
And the Hamas war is not a holy war necessarily. But
Correct.
the fact of the matter is, we still have to pay attention to that stuff.
No, we do because it affects all of us. I think some people get to a point where we become desensitized with the news, whether it's here or it's abroad or anywhere else. I think that to not be connected in some way, shape, or form is to disconnect with just the human spirit. And I think that a lot of people
Absolutely.
just have done that completely. It could be a form of protecting themselves, not to go through heartbreak, or a form of putting themselves out there to care for others, or whatever the situation is on a case by case basis. But you're right; this should not be ignored at all. The government has always come forward and have made the statement about that they unequivocally are against, obviously, what had happened. So when you look at these events happening, in fact, here's the exact statement: the United States unequivocally condemns the unproved attacks by Hamas terrorists against Israeli civilians. So again, we're talking about people who are just going about their daily lives, and all of a sudden you got these 2,200 airstrikes that attack that area. It's insanity.
It's insanity, but I hate to say it like this, or hate to say it even. That's what terrorists do, and
Of course,
they're that
unfortunately,
close.
yeah.
Hamas is probably it's probably some folks from Israel in Hamas.
Hmm.
I would never say this on CNN, but the fact of the
No, of
matter
course
is,
not.
it's they're known for things like this, and so it's always tragic, always sad when they do it. But maybe we become relaxed. Maybe Israel had become relaxed even to their random terror, and so now they had to handle their business, and they probably know more about going to war with Hamas than anybody in the world.
When you mentioned lying about terrorists, I go back to the scene from Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves, and he's in the as he's Clark Kent talking to Perry White, played by Jackie Cooper, and he's Kent. There's terrorists in Paris. I always send out Lois Lane on the job. Mr. White, that's terrible. That's why they call terrorists, Kent.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, right.
You know,
So this is
so
what they do, unfortunately. But you're right. We have to be more cognizant of that.
yeah, just like haters. That's what they do. They hate. You know, and I never met a lover. I'm a lover terrorist. You know,
right.
like
No, no.
not too much.
Or is it, I love to terrorize.
Right. And when I wake up in the morning, I just want to terrorize.
That's
I go
right.
to bed
I
at night.
get up.
Guess what? I go back
terrorize.
over the terrorizing I did at night,
I take
and
my
it
terrorist.
puts me to sleep.
I take my terrorist truck and go back over again when I just terrorized. I
Right.
put it in reversed. Right.
Right. And the only reason I stop terrorizing is to plan terrorizer.
Hey, look, I get up and scratch, and the first thing I want to do is terrorize. I terrorize before I scratch.
Right. And sometimes I terrorize myself if I can't find nobody. See, I only got one arm.
That's my. I jack myself up, man.
Right.
Oh man, absolutely amazing stuff, Pastor Donovan Price. Thank you so much. More information about you. Where can they find you at, sir?
Find me on www.solutionsandresources.org. Jump in and be a part of my candy donation drive, which we're doing right now to get some stuff for some trunk or treats we're going to participate in. Also, social media, of course, Twitter most of all, and then Facebook as well. Pastor Donovan Price or Solutions and Resources /Street Pastor Chicago.
Thank you as always, Pastor, and I'll see you next week. You take care.
All right. God bless. You sure my mic sounds good?
It sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, pretty good mic. Pretty good mic. All right. Thank you.
Doing all right. All right, sir. You take care, bro. Pastor Donovan Price joins us every time. Now, mind you, we had a programming note, so he joined us a half hour before, and usually joins us in the second hour, but we had to make a slight change there. So let's see. Let's go back to here. All right, we continue to free our minds. Make sure, of course, you do that by coming on through the program. Again, you can be so bold and call in at 312-597-2106, or you can come through here, of course, comments on the comment section. Hey, Divine Tawana Divine, how you doing? Says good morning, Chris. Good morning to you too. Excellent cook. Excellent cook. I'm telling you, I've had her. I think it was turkey lasagna or turkey spaghetti. Oh man, great stuff. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Pastor Price, your mic is on point, so yeah, he had to take off. But yeah, no, he has one of those Rode mics, RODE. D is in dog. E. Fantastic mic. Let's see. You had typed this earlier, Omar, when Pastor was talking about working with people who are physically challenged. Omar typed, I worked at a nursing home when I still in high school and at grammar school on a few occasions. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to, not everybody can do that. Let's see. Some more of your comments here. The IDF, Israeli Defense Force, has made incursions into Gaza many times since the Israeli pullout of Gaza in 2005. You are correct. So this has been going on for a while and a long time. But unfortunately, when you don't have any type of solutions, this unfortunately what happens. I do recall Charles Kushner, Jerry Kushner's father, took a plea deal and only served 2 years for breaking certain election laws. A federal prosecutor in New Jersey's governor. Going back to what Sick just typed. Yeah, it's about cutting these deals. That's what it is about cutting deals, and when you're dealing with the law. So again, going back to what I said earlier about Trump, um, I had to believe it when I see it. And even doing that, the old saying, "Don't believe your lying eyes." Let's see. So again, Free Your Mind Saturday. Please type into the conversation or call if you like at Free Your Cranium. I was watching this old footage from the Breakfast Club, and it dealt with who they were interviewing, Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison from the It's a Different World on NBC back in the day. Hold on, let me go back to the conversation real quick. That federal prosecutor, of course, yes, you're right. Governor Chris Christie, the governor out of New Jersey. Even back then, his gut and butt were one. Yes, of course they were one. Gut and butt were one, and still is right to this day. And we all know the reason why he's quote unquote running for the presidency is to stick it back to Trump, which is all right by me. So Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison had made an appearance on the Breakfast Club. I don't know the exact date, but it was a while back. And it goes into the interview that Jasmine Guy was saying that Lisa Bonet was treated unfairly on the show, meaning that the directors were yelling at her, saying, "Oh, you're not doing the part right," pointing at her aggressively and telling her that she's not fit and everything. Just all types of negative stuff. And looking back after hearing and watching this segment from the Breakfast Club, Angela Yee, who is no longer with the show, had posted it. I think I've now been very unfair to Lisa Bonet, and I said this before I heard about this. So I always thought that Lisa Bonet was not a strong enough lead for a different world when I was watching in real time, and maybe because of this new information I just heard, that maybe it shot her confidence. It would shoot, I think, anybody's confidence unless you're a person that likes to, I wouldn't say like, but you fight back, and depending on how your personality is. So, once again, Jasmine Guy was going through the litany of examples of what would happen behind the scenes. And the people, I guess the directors or whoever, would berate her, meaning Lisa Bonet, in front of the audience, which is thoroughly embarrassing. And so, again, your confidence is shot to shit. So, based upon that, and I remember also part of the footage I watched that Kadeem Hardison was laughing a little bit because Jasmine Guy was putting her 2 week notice about she was going to quit after the first season, based on what she saw, because her mentality was, if they come after her like that, meaning Lisa Bonet, they come after me like that, and I fight back. So she was trying to quit, and she couldn't because she signed a 7-year deal with NBC. So she was locked into the position, but she wanted to quit based upon what she had seen how they treat Lisa Bonet. So I had to withdraw all these years about what I said about Lisa Bonet not being a strong lead. Maybe she could have been a strong lead had she had more encouragement from the director, or writers, or production team, whatever, because again, that's just not cool. Behind the scenes that you have with your family, that's fine. But when you bring it out to quote unquote into the street, that is not cool at all. So I'm sorry that she went through that. And based upon again what I heard, I apologize. She don't know me from a can of paint, obviously. She don't know me. But publicly I apologize because now that I've heard about this, my viewpoint is different. So I'm sorry, Miss Bonet, that I didn't think you were strong enough, but based on what I heard from your castmate, Elise Bonet, and I'm going to believe that that's a true event. or series of events that happened to you, I apologize. Because again, I think that would shock anybody's confidence level, depending on who they were or are. So yeah, that's just not cool. I can only put myself in that situation. I would like I like to fight sometimes. So that whoever was coming after me, they would have to get off the floor after me punching them. Do I condone violence? Of course I don't. But I'm not going to let anybody talk down to me, and especially talk down to me in front of the audience. That's one thing you're not going to do. So hell no. Mm. So there you go with that. So yeah, that hurt. Another thing they were saying on the show on that segment was they talked about in that timeline, Lisa Bonet getting pregnant in real life, and there was rumor that Cosby did not want to show a pregnant college student on the show. That was one of the reasons why she was removed. Then uh, they, meaning Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison, was saying that had she stayed on with the pregnancy, that would have been more inspiring because there are thousands upon thousands of college students who are pregnant. And that type of timetable would have helped inspire more people. But it was a decision, obviously. And then it was rumored that NBC did not want that look upon their network to see a single black pregnant young teen in college. So yeah, it was a lot of uh, lot of other working parts moving, but I don't know. And I think about it in hindsight, I would have been cool with that. Not to judge. Hell, I can't get pregnant. Last I checked. But even if that was the ongoing theme, I would still watch the program. I think that Kadeem and Jasmine were right in their assessments that it would have been very inspiring to see the character um, go through college and things of that nature while being pregnant, because it happens every day. Base, don't play that. He'll hurt you like the Mac Man himself. It's funny you mentioned that. Bernie Mac had a heavenly birthday recently, passed a few days ago. And I mentioned before in this program and others, I had the honor to meet him one time. And he was going to be a guest on the show I was producing. And the guy I was working with, I don't think he realized who he ran into. And I told the story. I think the guy I was working with, his name was Johnny. Johnny ran into Bernie Mac like at a grocery store somewhere. I can't remember what it was. And he told me, "Do you know Bernie Mac? Do I know Bernie Mac? Are you kidding me?" This was around in a timeline where Bernie had just appeared on Def Comedy Jam. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. That era. So he was just off the heels of that. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Of course I know Bernie Mac. He's gonna be he's gonna be. I got him on as a guest coming in the next couple of days." I said, "Man, are you kidding me? You got the man." And I talked to Bernie for a good hour in the green room, and I was just in awe of him. The man was a student of comedy, very approachable, extremely intelligent, and a guy you want to hang out with, have a beer, and just keep on, picking his brain. So when I was seeing him in movies or on television, I was very proud of him. After they did the original Kings of Comedy, the Kings of Comedy, when he was on tour with Steve Harvey, who I really don't like, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hughley. It was directed by Spike Lee, and they were on tour, of course, during that time. And all of them, those gentlemen I mentioned, had a TV show except for Bernie Mac. So me personally, as a fan, I thought that when after the tour, that he would get like a show on HBO or Showtime, because The man could cuss. I thought it would be cuss friendly. But he got the show on Fox, the Bernie Mac show, and I thought it was just lovely. It was beautiful. It was tremendous. It was exciting. I was so happy for him. And the only thing that concerned me was when his face was blowing up because of medication and things of that nature. I was getting kind of concerned about that. Other than that, it was just a fantastic program. It was 1980s social attitudes then along the perception slash stereotypes at that time would have been mixed reactions to a pregnant black co-ed on TV. Well, you're right, Sick, but see, that's the reason why you do things like that, to spark controversy, to get people talking, to make the change. And you're right, it was the 80s, obviously, but I think that, again, when you step out on faith and try something different, but again, you got to go through, of course, the network, the sponsors, and the red tape and everything else. Everybody got to be on board in order for it to work. But yeah, that would have been cool if that had happened. Comic Roy Wood Jr. says he would not return to his position as a correspondent on Comedy Central's The Daily Show when the show resumes new episodes later this month, ending a job he first started 8 years ago. The reason, since he hasn't been offered the job as the permanent host of the show, Wood wants some time to figure out his next act. I can't come up with Plan B is while still working with Plan A, said Wood, who has decided that he doesn't want to be on The Daily Show as a correspondent waiting for someone else to take the job. The job of correspondent is not really one where you can juggle multiple things, and I think 8 years is a good run. Let's see. Hey, Barbara Jean says the Zoom just ended, and greetings to all. Greetings to you. Bernie did suffer from sarcoidosis, this was a autoimmune disorder of the lungs that took a toll on his health. You're right. Going back to what Sick had typed. No, I understand that. And again, because we're not privy to information at the time when I was looking at him, you just automatically concerned. He still came into work. He still put in some good performances, but again, not knowing what the situation was, at the time, in real time, wondered what had happened. So, unfortunately, was sarcoidosis. Denise McCullough, who is Bernie Mac's daughter, I've had her on CBI, Chris Based Interviews. I reached out to her. She has a podcast now, Bernie's daughter's podcast, and she has Cedric the Entertainer on as of recently, and I'm gonna have her back on to do like what I call a CBI reconnect, or maybe on BaseLine, or maybe on Wednesday. We'll see once we connect and or reconnect, as I call it, and then have her back on. So yeah. For someone who, when I had her on the show, meaning Janice, another great soul, just another great person who I said, I loved your dad. I love you too, but I love both of y'all. The fact of he, meaning of course Bernie, was able to represent us so well as Chicagoans, Southsiders in particular. He wore that well. Can improv with the best of them. When you even go back and watch the Kings of Comedy, uh, he brought up. He was at the end, and we come on to the end. That means, man, you the one. Even his fellow comedian was like, man, you can't come behind Bernie, and that right there is a hell of a testament to say you can't come behind somebody. So I'm gonna come behind that, which is why he had always ended those shows. When asked about Wood's departure and the issues surrounding his decision, a spokesperson for The Daily Show sent a brief statement. Roy Wood Jr.'s comedic genius and beloved teammate, his insights and hilarity helped us make sense of the 2016 election, the pandemic, and countless hours of Fox News. We thank him for his time with us and can't wait to see what he does next. In other words, he ain't gonna get the job hosting um, the Daily New, the Daily Show. I told you before, I'm a fan of late night. Always has been. I've not watched late night television in years. Well, it has changed, and I don't really like it like I used to. But I still revere it. But still, it would have been nice if Roy got the nod to host it. He did do some, I guess, auditioning, they call it. Him, some others that come to, I can't come to mind right now, but yeah, it would have been nice. But things happen for a reason, obviously, and so the fact that he was on the show, and I didn't watch it a lot. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Jon Stewart, of course, was the original host, and then Trevor Noah, and now they're in limbo until they find the next host. It would have been nice to see that, but the color, quote unquote, has gone out of late night for a reason. For Trevor Noah moving on, and for other hosts who have not, for some reason, get the nod to host late night programming. Once again, I'm not anti, I'm just pro my own. That's it, that's all. And had Roy got the nod, I would have definitely watched it. I would have I watched Trevor Noah from time to time. Great observations, smart, make you think, and the same with Roy. But again, I just think that Roy has his own particular stylings, and this is just the beginning. I agree. 8 years is a good run there at Comedy Central. It's just time to move on, and I think that you made these decisions in your life. It's kind of like, okay, I didn't get the job as the host of the Daily Show, so it's time to move on. Like the whole thing that went down back in the day on NBC with Carson, Leno, and Letterman. We all know the story. It should have went to Letterman, but I digress. So Letterman said in an interview with Oprah that he got a call. He got 2 phone calls. The first call was like, "We want you to take over for Johnny. We're going to call a so and so, and then have you come in as the guest host. And then by the time Johnny leaves, it'll be your show and everything else." And he said, Letterman, this is great. Have you talked to Johnny about this? And they said, no, we haven't. And Letterman said, we can't have more of this conversation. I have to stop because I got to see what's all right with Johnny. Johnny was the one that got him his start. There was no late night with David Letterman. There was no late night. There used to be a show called The Tomorrow. It's called Tomorrow with a guy named Tom Snyder. And then when Tom Snyder had stepped down from that program, Carson was able to get a hold of it and call it Late Night with David Letterman. And Letterman got his start through Carson. So I'm not going to make a move. I was Letterman. Look, if my man says it's okay, then I'll do it. But we're just having a conversation between you, say, the network people at NBC. You don't talk to Johnny about this. We got to stop talking. And so when you parallel that to Roy Wood, look, I've been here 8 years, I auditioned for the chair, and it seems like y'all want to go in a different direction. You go your way, and I go my way. It happens, and I would feel uncomfortable if I was passed over, which I have been on many occasions, and I still got to work at that place. I mean, sometimes you have no other choice because no one else wants you, so you got to stay at the job that you have until you get somewhere else. I used to hate that, man. I used to hate trying to so-called audition for a spot at a radio station, and they already had someone else in mind. And with a lot of people, just not the truth ain't in them. I think there's such a thing as being too honest, or what they call brutally honest. And for me over the years, I become that way because I just think that's the way to go. at least as far as you can go with that is concerned. Excuse me. So when I would so-called audition for certain positions at the radio station I worked at, say WLS, the fix was in. They already know who they wanted to get. And so I got to the point where why should I audition when you already got the person in lined up? It's not fair. But then again, life is not fair. Hey, basically, I have a spot open for one of the slots on the stage. I ain't trying out for that shit. And don't get me wrong, I have people in my corner who I appreciated. But then when you realize what's stacked against you, why we go through the motions? I'll give you an example. So this is when I was producing. So we had a morning show there with Don, Wade, and Roma. They were the morning host. And so when you look at themselves looking for a new producer, well, we had what we call a senior producer. That was the person that our direct contact who we talked to. And I said to her, if you have somebody in mind already, then I don't want to waste my time. No, Chris, give everybody a fair equal shot. Let me say it again for the cheap seats. If you have somebody in mind, then we could stop this right now. Oh, no, it's gonna be fair. So all that crap. So all the ideas that I had one day to audition. A lot of people get weeks and weeks. I had one day to audition. So right off the bat is bullshit. So I quote unquote give them all these stories. All my stories were shot down. All of them. Even current events were shot down. So I knew where this was going. Once again, I don't like wasting my time. So I'm in the thick of it, so I gotta write it out. So okay, whatever. So whatever story they chose, by that point, I'm already zoned out because I already know this is going. So we go through it, and then I remember we'd use what we call reel to reels back then. So I had to take some reel to reels and put it on the senior producer's desk, and one of those desk calendars there, and it had my name on a Wednesday, and this other guy's name the week before, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday of the week I was on, and all next week his name was on there. So why even put my name in there? And eventually the guy whose name was on there, say 3 weeks in a row, got the job. Again, I don't like wasting anybody's time, especially mine. So when these people sit back and say it's fair, uh, good luck, they don't mean it. They don't, because the fix is already in. And they have to, by law, put in the trade papers that a position is open, once again, by law. Doesn't mean that you're going to get it. It doesn't mean that when you submit your audition tape and resume that you have a chance of getting it. By law, they have to. But behind the scenes, they already got their person or persons already. Waste of time. Ooh, again, as we continue on to free our minds on a Saturday morning, please continue to do so. So Bernie Mac was born October 5th, 1957. Taylor Swift is known for dating famous men, but she pulls a power move in every relationship that can't be ignored for a second longer. Everyone loves to be fascinated by all the men in Swifty's life, well, the main Swifty, I should say. Sure, she had long-term relationships like her one with Calvin Harris, almost lasted 2 years, and her love affair with, what's the name, Joel Alwyn, I guess, that spanned 6 years, but she also played the field. She briefly dated Tom Hiddleston, Matt Healy, and now Travis Kelce. She also met all their moms. A fling is not getting in the way of swift meeting your family, and that is what we should be talking about. Obviously, at some point in a relationship, you must meet the parent's mom. Usually, it explains so much about them. You leave that brunch thinking, oh no, wonder how the struggle is going to be with the process of emotions being involved. Everyone's timeline looks different, but usually do introductions once things become serious. Maybe you bought a lounge together, co-hosted a party, or even longer, referred to him as that guy from Tinder. Taylor doesn't wait for that moment. She dives into the meeting of anyone's mom, which is the kind of power move most of us can barely process. Yesterday, Taylor sent the world into a spin when she was spotted watching Kelsey's NFL team, the Chiefs, play and win. Sure, she's dating someone new and cool, but you know what is interesting? She was spotted at the VIP area alongside his mom watching the game. It's hard to pin down a complete timeline because Taylor is known for trying to conduct her dating life in private, but realistically, she's been dating him for probably a couple of weeks max. So, people are creatures of habit, as we all know by now. And some people just don't change in that capacity. That's how they operate. That's the modus operandi. That's how they operate. So I don't like my worlds mixing sometimes. Sometimes my worlds need to be separated for whatever reasons. What was that? I think they showed the Sunday night game that Kansas City played, and he kept going back to the main Swifty there in the box. Hold on. Yeah, they showed her 17 times during the Chiefs Jet game. 17 times that game. It's 17 too many. Hey, what's up, Bryson? Bryson, one of my favorite people. Good morning, Bryson. How you doing? I met Bryson when she was an intern, and this is when I was doing the Cool Out radio show at WVON. Again, I gravitate towards people who are smart. I don't like dumb people. But Bryson is a lot on the ball, asked him very good questions during her time, and just a beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful person. As a hell yeah, as a one time is way too much. Well, yeah, look, going back to the whole thing with the main Swifty. I understand, and we understand what they're doing because the NFL can obviously make a profit, and they did. The first thing they went to the main Swifty up there in the skybox, and they went to commercial. What was commercial? The commercial was Taylor Swift's concert movie. Right out the gate. The ticket sales for that Jets game went up 40%, 40%. So she's box office gold. I understand that. I just don't need to see her face when it happens. Exactly. I peeped that too. Thank you, Bryson. Like I was saying before, it's stupid. Learn so much from you. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I gets on my damn nerve. Case in point, like I said before, certain worlds just shouldn't mix. I've been a fan of the ABC show Dancing with the Stars since day one. My wife and I used to watch all the time. My wife Vicky. Some of you may know she's unfortunately passed away. But we watch it every Monday. Monday and Tuesday results of that week, whatever. And so I stopped watching it because again, certain people should not cross over to my universe of the Dance with the Stars. Case in point, No Leaks. So No Leaks from the Hot Mess of Atlanta appeared on there as a contestant, and she was a former stripper. She was a former stripper, pole dancer, they would call it, but still a stripper nonetheless. Anyway, it could be different. I digress. So she appeared on Dance with the Stars. I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch this shit. But I went on and watched it anyway, because once again, I'm a fan of the show. And now with the Argentine tango. So it shows her trying to dance just because you were a former pole dancer or stripper or both does not mean you have to drop it like it's hot all the damn time. There should be some skill set of the Argentine tango and everything else. No, you're gonna drop your big ass on the floor and try to get away with that. No, no, no. There's a skill set, sweetheart. Sweetheart. And that's when I stopped watching the show. I couldn't take no more. I couldn't do it. I've not watched it since. Now that they're back on ABC, the network, they had that time with Tyra Banks, who was a horrible host on that program. Horrible. Once again, a little bit I saw and read some of the reviews of it. Horrible. But they got rid of Tyra Banks and they got Fonza Ribeiro, and I forgot the young lady's name. One of the former dancers there. I think Juliana Huff, I think that's her name. And so they're co-hosting it. So from what I read, some of the reviews, so far so good. So I might have to go back and check it out. But man, that damn No Leaks appeared on there. I was outdone. I couldn't take no more. All politics, Bryson. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It all boils down to that. It's all political. All political. Let's see. Was the exotic dancer as bad as D.L. Hughley on it? I would say that D.L. Hughley probably did a better job. Hell, not only D.L. Hughley, Master P, when he was on there stomping around like Herman Munster from the Munsters. I mean, it hurts your soul. I'm glad I avoided reality TV sick ties. Yeah, I sometimes it's you can escape it, but it's out there obviously. No, but I've been a fan of the show since, like I said before, since day one. But can't do it, doctor. It's too much. I mean, you talk about going back to scripted television. There's a show on NBC. Well, it's two on NBC that I like. One is called The Irrational with Jesse L. Martin. Fantastic whodunit detective style show. Very different. I like it a lot. And then they brought back the new Quantum Leap, which now airs on Wednesdays. So again, those shows are back. I'm good. Scripted, very well written, strong character development. I like it. So again, NBC, The Irrational, and Quantum Leap have become my favorites. Oh, help. Going back to the main Swifty. Viewership of the game, once again between the Chiefs and the Jets, ranked an average of 27 million viewers, making it the second most watched game this year since the Super Bowl. Holy smokes and Jesus. Again, I told you, I just don't like some of my worlds being together like that. It's too much for me. I can't. Yes, you have your jerseys going back to Travis Kelce up 400%. Yes, make your money. I understand all that. But is it worth it? I guess it's certain. I said this. We said it before on another program. I guess it is worth it because he will be a song, meaning Travis. If not already, she's probably writing it as we speak. He will be a song, or he will be an album, or both. Help, Lord. I'm trying, and I understand the cross references of pop culture and sports and everything else. And the NFL doesn't care. And there was an article about Travis saying that the NFL should stop. I'm not going to stop. Money doesn't sleep. Bryson typed about politics. Politics doesn't sleep. Nobody sleeps when it comes to money, politics. First you get the money, then you get the power. Ain't nobody taking a nap. Everybody's wide awake. So that's the thing. Again, 17 times is 17 times too many to air her on there. I get tired of that. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? It's some things is just, well, I say she's good for box office, Doc. She's good for box office. Swift is also getting off on the attention. Hey, Swift could be the Antichrist. I said it before jokingly, but I know I kid around with that. Now, of course, I have no proof. It's ha ha he, but yeah. Something is just the obvious. I mean, like Trump, I mean, come on now. That got Satan written all over it. But if you're attracted to something, does not mean it's going to be, again, with pitchforks and red hooves and horns. It's going to be something attractive, something very beautiful. I mean, it depends on your lens. I don't really find her attractive at all, but it's not geared to me. It's geared towards the people who do find her attractive and the Swifties and stuff like that. That's who she's playing to. Jeez. So yeah, let's move on because I'm about to not have a stroke, but the pyloric valve is ticking. So let's move on from there. The moment Dwayne Keith D. Davis was arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur was caught on camera by a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. The video was obtained by CBS affiliate KLAS TV, shows an officer approaching Davis near his Henderson, Las Vegas home on the morning of September 29th. Hey, Keith, Metro Police, come over here, the officer says, and Davis approaches. Davis is then handcuffed. One video shows multiple officers surrounding him. Let's see. Travis just trying his hand with her like all the rest of the fellas did. As Bryson Tice. Well, like I said before, Rasta Ruck, as Scooby Doo always says, Rasta Rock Ram Ruck, because it just ain't gonna happen. It's just you can try, doesn't mean you're gonna succeed. You can try your ass off. The officer spoke to Davis casually before placing him into police car. While being transported to the police department, Davis asked officers why there hadn't been media presence at the arrest. So why y'all didn't bring the media? He could be heard asking. Another clip shows him telling officers that he ain't worried about it. I will say the word, probably shit, according to KLAS TV. Davis has been indicted on a charge of murder with a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement in September of 1996 shooting that killed hip hop icon Shakur. The charge can apply to those who aid or abet in the murder, not just the person accused of pulling the trigger, prosecutors said. Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DeGiacomo described Davis as the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of hip-hop icon Tupac Shakur. Davis has previously described himself as a witness to the murder, writing in his 2019 memoir that he was in the car that Shakur was shot from, implicating his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, as one of the two people in the back seat where the shots were fired. Anderson was killed 2 years after the shooting. Officials says Davis had been known to investigators. His wife's home was raided by police in July, with documents stating that police were looking for items concerning the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis made his first court appearance on October 4th. He requested a 2-week continuance because his lawyer was not present and will appear in court on October 19th. Until then, he is held without bail. And why did it take so damn long? Don't be wrong, cold cases happen all the time. I think when it comes to people of color, it's a little bit colder. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And then, of course, the question becomes, why now brown cow or why now black cow? With all this going on. I know some investigations take a while. Some investigations get to a point where they want to make the suspect feel comfortable, him or her, to believe that they're getting away with something. And then they wait years later and then they just do their thing. But still, that's a long time. And sometimes they don't even want to solve the case. They don't even want to bring about the cold case sometimes. They just want to just let it go. It's just one less Negro to deal with, quote unquote. That's how some people think. So let's get an update on what's going on. What's over there with the Israelis and Hamas. A Palestinian militant group, Hamas, launched a surprise and unprecedented land, sea, and air attack on Israel, which its leaders said included firing about 5,000 rockets. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded saying the country was at war with the Hamas and that the verses would be called up to boost the armed forces. The enemy will pay a price it has never known before. At least 40 Israelis have been killed, health officials said. At least 190 people were killed after Israeli strikes, the Gaza Health Community and Ministry has said. Social media videos show militant fighters driving around Israel and firing weapons. One group was seen driving an Israeli military vehicle. The bloodshed is the most significant escalation of tensions between Hamas and Israel in years. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in a statement this morning that he's closely following the developments in Israel. Our commitment to Israel's right to defend itself remains unwavering, and I extend my condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the abhorrent attacks on civilians. Over the coming days, the Department of Defense will work to ensure that Israel has what it needs to protect and defend itself and for civilians from indiscriminate violence and terrorism. Palestinian men transported the body of a Hamas militant by horse and cart to the Gaza Strip after he was killed in clashes on the border with Israel October 7, 2023. President Biden was fully briefed about the unfolding events in Israel Earlier this morning, the White House will provide a full readout of any calls the president makes in response to the attacks. Another official indicated the White House and National Security Council were surprised by the attack. At least 40 people have died as a result of the militant attacks and the rocket fire. In a statement, a spokesperson said that the service also had treated hundreds of people for injuries, from minor to serious. Helicopters, mobile CIUs, and bulletproof ambulances have been mobilized for treatment, they said, and were evacuating patients to hospitals across Israel. The Palestinian Health Ministry has not confirmed any death toll for Gaza so far. And again, so we wake up to this morning, what's going on over there, and just again, heartbreak and pain. And again, that's what terrorists do. So keep you updated as the story unfolds as it goes along in time. So, again, anything else on your mind? You want to free your mind? Please comment in the comment section or call in at 312-597-2106. Again, that's 312-597-2106. Let's see here. Okay. Read your quote from NBA great Scottie Pippen. Kobe strives so hard to be Michael Jordan. When I go back and look at his videos, I say to myself, damn, he was better than Michael Jordan. I say it again for the cheap seats. So this is once again Scottie Pippen. Kobe strives so hard to be Michael Jordan. When I go back and look at his videos, I say to myself, damn, he was better than Michael Jordan. Okay, let's cut through the bullshit. Scotty, I believe, is pissed that his ex-wife is dating Michael Jordan's son. I think that's it. That's all. And then you want to go back in time and just destroy legacies or try to piss on them, which he's trying to do, but he just no. Now let's call it for what it is. If anybody's game came close to Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant's. The man studied him. It was no joke. He studied him. He called Jordan to ask him questions. The patented turnaround that Jordan did, he got that from Michael Jordan. But to say and turn around and say that Kobe Bryant was better than Jordan, I don't know what Pippen is smoking or drinking, but keep that away from me because it does alter your mind and gives you a false sense of another world altogether. This young lady I've known for a while. She gets younger and younger. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. Has a beautiful smile. I've noticed this our days at Urban Broadcast Media. She is the host of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. Please welcome back to BaseLine and just welcome back here so I can see her and talk to her again, the wonderful Annette Harris.
Hey, Base.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How's everything?
I'm doing well, just busy as ever, but I am so glad to be here with you. How are you doing?
And I'm still walking the earth like Kane in Kung Fu. I'm doing great.
Kane and Kung Fu? Okay, all right, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, no, that was the character's name in the Kung Fu series back in the day. His name was Kane.
Okay, gotcha. I went Bible on you. I thought you was talking about Kane in the Bible.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said no, not Kane. No, because Kane killed his brother. No, I ain't talking about that Kane.
Okay. I got you. I'm there. I'm right there. there.
Oh, help. It is so good to see you again. It has been a while. I told people before I promoted it in the first hour that and all of us collectively can agree to this. At UBM, it's a damnedest of shame that it's not around anymore. Just think what would have happened if everything stayed intact. And I know we're
Oh,
incredibly biased because we were there, but it was a right place, right time moment. What are your thoughts about urban broadcast media?
I agree with you. I agree that it was a right there moment. The timing, though, maybe they. I think they were a little bit ahead of their time in the sense of now you see it's. I think right now they would have really thrived, in this day and time right now. But the push and the trying to get it together, that was definitely on point. Feeney he had so many thoughts in his head, and so many things that he wanted to do. But I don't think that maybe the world or the online radio industry was probably ready, um, you know, and that's just me thinking off the top of my head. But
Mm-hmm.
I really wished it was still around because when you think about it, I mean, there we were, in the heart of Bronzeville, and you had all these different radio shows. The my brothers and my sisters, we were bringing it, okay, and it was a blessing to be around each other, to feed off of each other, to network and connect with each other, to push and encourage one another. We it was definitely needed then, but I think now in where we are now, it probably would have been received a whole lot better. That's just me.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. A good friend of mine, a great friend of mine in my life, Lisa London, who was there during that time. She was going to get a show, but she couldn't afford it because they had some people had to pay,
Yeah,
obviously. And but she was telling me all the time that look at all the talent that went in and out of those doors on a consistent
man.
basis. It was it was a lot, literally a who's who walked in and out of those doors.
Yep. Yep. It was. And so many people have gone on, to do great things. You see, all around us. We're even thinking about even the interns and those who came,
Yes.
to work, not only the hosts, but the interns, and then those who, like you said, came through the doors and left back out. Who's that little? I call her baby girl, Aisha. That girl, she's all over the
Mhm.
place now.
Right.
And just doing great things, and the different producers that would produce our shows. They're doing great things, and it's just a blessing to see. But we're glad that we were able to get our feet planted or get our feet wet, if you
Hmm.
will, to help us to advance to, where we are now, and then propel us to go forward. And yeah, man, base, I don't know if y'all caught what Base said. He said some people had to pay. Base wasn't one of them people.
No, no, I was
Sorry,
not.
I'm sorry. It was
No,
not.
no, no,
Base
it's cool.
Base was he was a what did they call that, a anchor show.
Yes,
So he was on every day, and he
right.
was doing his thing, and I felt privileged and honored to be able to step in, when he needed, me to do so. It was just a blessing, and or to be on his show as a guest. It was a blessing.
It was fun. I think that like any part of your life, you know where you are in that moment, and you know it's special. You know it's timing, and you know
Yeah.
that you're there for a reason. And so
Right.
when I would have you on, other people on, like again, we were family. And that's
Yes.
the cool thing about it. We was just look between you. Uh, I call him Sir Walter Bones. He said that's his name as well, Sir Walter Jones. Um, C. Curtis, D. Curtis Randall, and everybody else.
Right.
I mean, it was fun. It was a lot. Geez, to go on and on the McCain train, Brenda
Yeah.
and Rick McCain, and
Yeah.
everybody was just there to bring it. And
They were.
so when I was brought on, the great Lee Michaels brought me on when he was operations manager there.
Oh, okay.
So Lee was the one who said to me that you're going to anchor off UBM talk, and then the shows be built around you.
Yeah.
And I never heard it before. I'd look over both shoulders. He got the right Negro when he said that to me. But then I said, "Look, man, this is your time. It's not a mistake. Go in
Right.
there and show what you do. And again, to help others around as well, whether it was you or anybody else, I'm there for everybody because that's what it's all about. I can't sit in good faith and, for example, do my show and someone asks me a question and not answer them honestly because I
Yeah.
can't operate no other way. So just
Hmm.
the fact that we have people out there during that time when we're only help everybody else, I think made us stronger. And Dr. Leon Finney, God rest his soul, what
Yeah.
breaks my heart about when I heard the news about him passing away, he
Hmm.
passed away on my birthday.
I don't think I realized that.
Yeah, September 4th.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
did not realize that. I really
yeah,
didn't. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I used to love me some Leon Finney. Every time I walked in the studio, if I saw him right away,
yes.
guess what he was looking at? My shoes. Girl, let me see them shoes. He would always talk about my shoes. Always talk about how my shoes were sharp. He loved the shoes. I'm a shoe fanatic. Many of you don't
Yes.
know. I
Mm,
love shoes. Okay, all kinds, and I'm typically either dressed up in some shoes. I very rarely have any like flats or anything like that. But anyway, he was
right.
always talking about my shoes. Come here, come on, let me see them shoes, girl. And it would just kind of make you feel, good. You never have that connection with him or whatever. It was
Yeah.
it was just a blessing to be under his tutelage, watch him work, and see his heart and his hope, for the community and beyond. It was just great. So yeah, God rest his soul.
He was trying to get me to eat fish. And that was his thing with me because I became operations manager. We became closer. And so I remember, hey, Bates, come over for the fish fry. I was like, I don't like fish like that, Doc. I mean, I know you like fish. No, come on next door. I was like, Doc, I gotta work here. I don't have time to eat no damn fish. Excuse my language. I'm trying to get this radio department together. Oh, come on, babe, go get some fish. I'm like, I don't want to get no fish. Now
Right,
that's the end of it. So he was like, what if I buy it for you? Okay, now you're talking. I don't come out of pocket. All right, now you're talking. So
right.
it was some of the best fish you ever had in your life. We got fish. We got spaghetti. We got go. So I'm in my office. I get a word from Michael, Doc's brother. It was like, Doc has something for you upstairs. I go upstairs, and it's the fish dinner
Fish.
that they were fixing. So it was fried fish, some rolls, and spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
It was some good fish. I'm not really a fish person, but it was fried
I didn't
and
know
no
you
bones.
were not a fish person.
I can't do shellfish. I'm allergic to it.
Gotcha. Okay. I was going to say because
But
something wrong with you if you can't do fish. I'm just
I
kidding.
know.
I'm just kidding, y'all.
Something was wrong with me before I ate fish. That got nothing to do with fish. So, because I said I
Oh,
can't do
goodness.
shellfish. So but he was like, no, just fried perch. And so I had that, and I was like, okay, now you got me. So I would every time they had the fish fry on Fridays, I would give my $8 and then go and support and everything. But he would bug the hell out of me. Come on, Bates, get some fish. I don't want no fish, man. I'm trying to do this job. So
Right.
that was some of the great memories I had about Doc. And
Yeah.
Doc, he was that guy. So once again, rest in power. But that whole thing about
Yeah.
perch, yeah, he was on top of it. He wanted to make sure that perch that if I wasn't going to get it, somebody going to eat some fish that Friday.
Somebody was going to eat fish. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He knew about his food. That's for sure.
That is so true. Now let's get to you. Now I'm child surfing, minding my own business, and I don't really watch Sherry Shepard. I just don't really. I haven't seen her show, but it's towards the end, and there you are. There you are on there with Sherry Shepard, and she's giving you this quiz. So first of all, tell us that backstory, and just I was like, this is wonderful. My girl is on TV. That could be a good look for her down the road to host her own syndicated talk show. I could be wrong. We could have glimpsed into the future just now. So please
Right, right,
tell us
right.
about that.
Well,
Exactly.
right. So wait a minute. So you were flipping through the channels and that's how you saw it?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay. All right. So people who know me, when Sherry Shepard started her show, her new talk show. I was on it. I was there from the beginning watching it. I just love I love Sherry Shepherd and how she does her talk show. She's a comedian first.
Yeah.
And so of course she brings that into it and this is just kind of engaging. You got a lot of people out here that got these talk shows now. I don't watch everybody. I'm just gonna tell you. But anyway, so me watching it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna send in because she always says at the end of her show, if you want to come and be in the studio audience, submit for tickets. And I
Mm.
did. And I'm like, okay, I really wanted to choose, and they give you some dates to choose from. And I wanted to choose it around my birthday time, right? So I don't know if I didn't know if I was gonna, get the okay or whatever, get the tickets. I just
Hmm.
submitted for it. Well, I opened up my email one day and they were like, "Oh, we have your request for tickets for." I'm like, "Yes." And so I had already had plans for my birthday to do something totally different. And she's in New York. And
Right.
so when I got that email, of course, all my plans changed, and I'm heading to New York because it was happening
Nice.
the show was happening actually the day after my birthday, and so um,
Now when is your birthday?
my birthday was September 27th.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I think we're both September babies, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, and I think we're both the same age too. But anyway, I don't know if you want to tell nobody your age, but I'm 56. I don't mind telling anybody.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
great. I'm 56 too. Yes.
cool, cool. I thought we were the same age. But anyway,
Hmm.
so the show that they said I had tickets for would go maybe it was the day after, so on the 28th, Thursday the 28th. So we flew in on that Wednesday. I rallied up both of my sisters. I'm like, you guys are going with me. I didn't even ask them. Like, y'all going with me. And so they were like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was like a little girls trip or whatever. And so they tell you, what colors that you need to focus on wearing because you're going to be in the studio audience, possibly
Okay.
be on TV and da 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 da. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I know exactly what I'm going to wear, right? So I had everything laid out. Well, as soon they tell you, and they also tell you to get there at a certain time to get in line before you go into the studio. You have to go through all the process, the vetting,
Right.
security and all that. And so as soon as I got out of the vehicle to go get in line, the audience, I guess he's like the audience manager, he makes
Hmm.
a beeline for me. And my sister, I'm still talking to my sisters, and he's like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful. I love what you're wearing." Da 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 da. He's just going on the color, da 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 da. And then he's like, "Would you like to play a game with Sherry on TV?" I was like,
Mm.
"Oh yeah."
Of course. Oh, that's great.
So that's how it was set up. And when I got in, finally got in and got settled into the studio, they mic'd me up and everything. And it was just such a wonderful experience. I got a chance to meet her. She's so down to earth, really sweet person. And her staff was excellent. Okay. I'll just say that, getting you from point A to point B,
Hmm.
point whatever, they were all excellent. I just loved and I enjoyed it. And I was able to talk with her, a little bit, before and after the little segment. And we're able to take pictures. I posted it on Facebook and on social media. It was just a wonderful birthday experience. And it was a dream come true. And another thing I was able to do, because you know me, Chris, I pray about everything. So I prayed about
Yes.
all of this and I wanted everything to go well. I also wanted to be able to, and I'm just going to put this out, I wanted to be able to give her my book, a personalized copy of my new book, and have her have it. And, hopefully she can call me back for an interview. Uh,
Hmm.
but anyway, but I was able to do all of that. And she told me she's going to read my book. And it was just such a wonderful experience. I just had a ball, a literal ball. And I don't know if any other birthdays can top that one.
That's
It
big time.
wonderful. And I'm like, and so many people saw it and they're saying the same thing you do. Or maybe somebody even said on Facebook, said, she kind of did that better than Sherry.
You never know.
Right. But I did tell her that I'm a local online radio show host and that she is an inspiration. And
Yes.
I was telling her, that much, and it was just great. It was great to experience, great to behold. Season 2, episode 7 of the Sherry Shepherd Show. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go back and look for that. It's on YouTube. It's on social media. It's all over.
It was so cool to see. Let's go out. Well, I got to put this up, but it's going to block both of us. I got to read it real quick. So
Okay.
Tabitha says, "Great grand rising to both. Beautiful blessings to you both. I'm making phenomenal progress myself. I honestly honored to have the opportunity of talking with you numerous hours, Chris Base. You are a beautiful person indeed. Got to run. Hopefully, I'll be on your phenomenal show. Okay, take care. He passed on your birthday. Wow, God bless you. I'm a shoe girl and my perfumes. So later, guys, dozen roses till I see you later. So yeah, another fellow shoe girl. And
Hey,
yeah,
we can't play about our shoes, all right? We just can't play about it.
no, the shoe
It's
game is on
important.
point.
What was that?
Your shoe game is on point.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I try. Like I said, I love me some shoes. I really
I
do.
know. I know. We used to work together. So again, I would see, of course, Annette every day, and she would come in and be dressed to the nines. I was like, and she would just stay sharp. And so when I come in there, I'm all bummy and stuff. I'm trying to get relaxed. She comes in looking like she's about to go out on the town, or maybe go out. I'm sorry, and be a deacon at church, whatever you want. Deaconess, or you will call it. And then go from there. But I'm telling you, stay sharp.
That is hilarious.
Oh
That is
yeah,
hilarious. He said a deaconess at church. You so funny.
right. Oh man,
I love shoes so much. I'll plan my outfit around my shoes instead of playing my shoes around my outfit.
shoes come first, right?
Shoes come first. Shoes come first. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but this has been more than great. I keep up with you when I can. I see you on social media doing your thing. You just keep getting better and better, and
I
I
appreciate
love you
that.
more. You're doing it, and I'm always a fan. And whenever you want to come back here to promote something, the door stays open.
I appreciate that. I really, really do. It has been a blessing, and you have been a blessing, and I appreciate this platform, and for you supporting the things that I have done and are doing. God is just blessing, tremendously. Even with my book, I want to say this before we end. I'm
Sure.
grateful. My book was published last year in August 19, 2022, and I was on a book tour, and it is continuing on this year. I have been blessed to be nominated for a literary book award through the Distinguished Authors Guild, and the red carpet gala, will be held in Las Vegas next month, November 8th. And so I'm going to make the trek to Las Vegas, and prayerfully I'll win in my genre, in the category that my book is in. Um, and I just want to encourage you, you can buy a virtual ticket, you can buy an in-person ticket. If you want to come to Vegas, that's fine. The tickets are on Eventbrite. And what I love about this guild, I was interviewing some of the nominees last night, and also the founder. What I love about it is the proceeds from the ticket sales will go toward 10 scholarships for freshmen, $1,000
Mm,
each. And so we want to push and encourage our young people in the scholarships. And so it's not just a gala just to have a gala. They have a motive behind it, and they want to push and
mm,
encourage our young people. So think about that, guys. If you're going to support, it is for a worthy cause. And I don't know if you saw, Chris, also in June or July, I was blessed to be a part of the Gathering of the Black Authors. And it was a recreation picture of Black authors in Chicago. And I was
mm,
blessed to be a part of that. And now the rendering is at the Chicago Historical Bronzeville Society. I believe I said that right, Bronzeville.
mm.
So you could go and look at the rendering there. It's just been so much that has just been happening, and I'm just so grateful for it. My books are all over Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. Also, if you're in the Chicagoland area, go to the bookstore at DuSable Museum of African American History. My book is there to be sold. And it's in the Chicago Library Hall branch if you want to just go and read my book. And
Nice.
so I'm just grateful. God is just opening up doors, and this is for His glory and for His will. And quickly on today,
Sure.
once I leave here, I'm going to head back over to DuSable because they have a book fair today. So I'll be there. I'll be set up if you want to come and purchase your book in person, your personalized copy. And we also have some merchandise that we'll be selling as well. So I'm still moving. I'm still moving.
Yes, you are. I am beyond proud. You're all over the place. Congratulations on being a nominee and getting out there to Vegas and winning it. Let's put it out in the atmosphere. Let's put it out in the universe
Put it
that you're
out.
going
Put
to
it out.
win. Yeah, put it out there.
I
And
received it.
oh yeah, it's a beautiful time for you, and you more than deserve it. So keep on doing what you're doing. And once again, anything I can help on my end, please don't hesitate to contact me because again, you're doing it in 3D.
Oh, thank you so much. I love me some bass. Don't anybody even think about messing with bass. Bass, that's my guy. That is my guy for sure. For sure. All the
Look,
time.
hey, don't mess with Miss Harris, man. She'll take one of them shoes, man, and put up somewhere where the sun don't shine. And she'll have like maybe 1,000 more pairs to go, but don't catch on a bad day, doctor. It's nothing nice.
Wait, and still be saved.
That's right. Still is right. Yes, we're gonna save you from getting a limp. Keep it up. I'm telling you,
That's funny.
don't cross it. That's
That
right.
is hilarious. Right, exactly.
Annette Harris, thank you so much. And again, more information about you. Where people contact you at?
Well, the quickest way, go to my website, getcaughtInternetRadio.com. GetcaughtInternetRadio.com. It's on the ticker. Best place to reach out to me. If you want to email me, it's getcaughtInternet@gmail.com. But if you go to my website, it can link you to the various platforms that I'm on, and you can purchase books there, purchase merchandise there. You can even book me there as well. I'm open to speaking engagements, and my speaking engagements will focus on positive mental health.
Sounds like a plan. The great Annette Harris, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you later on.
All right. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the time. Blessings.
Anytime. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And I do mean that sincerely. She's all over the place. She is the great Annette Harris and always has been great. But when you continue to keep putting your best foot forward and having a belief system that she has, what can you do? Is great. Okay, I'm gonna answer this phone. I'm gonna tell like I'm asleep. So hold on a second. Hello.
Hello. I agree with Nat Harris. I love me some bass too. Got a question for you.
Oh, okay. Let me wake up. Okay, go ahead.
Did I miss the Well Waldo segment?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you, sir.
Did I miss the Where's Waldo segment?
I'm sorry. I got a bad trick ear. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Did I miss the Where's Waldo segment?
Where's Waldo segment? $2 only goes so far. Yeah. Here, take your $2 back. Take your $2 back. No, Where's Waldo segment? Okay, no, there is no Where's Waldo segment. No, we don't have things like that here on this program. Again, thank you, Annette, for that and coming on board and sharing your experiences. Cartoon of the Week, Laugh Olympics, was produced by Hanna-Barbera. The series premiered as part of the Saturday morning cartoon program block of Scooby-Doo's All-Star Laugh Olympics, which consists of 24 episodes that aired on ABC in 1977. The show was a spoof of the Olympics and the ABC premiere primetime series Battle of the Network Stars, which debuted 1 year earlier. It featured 45 Hanna-Barbera characters organized into teams: the Scooby Doobies, the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rottens. which compete against each other for gold, silver, and bronze medals. In each episode, the Really Rottens would try in each event to cheat, only to get caught by Snagglepuss each time. Always wondered about him. He was a transgender character. One season of 16 episodes was produced in 1977 to 78, and 8 new episodes combined with the reruns of 78 to 79 season as the Scooby's All-Stars. Unlike most cartoon series produced by Hanna-Barbera in the 1970s, Laugh Olympics did not contain a laugh track. Scooby's Laugh Olympics was originally owned by Taft Broadcasting, Warner Brothers Domestic Television Distribution, which currently owns the series through its 2 in-name-only units, Family Entertainment and Turner Entertainment through Warner Brothers Family Entertainment. So there you go. Yeah, I remember that. I remember those groups of the Scooby Doobies, the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rotten. So yeah, Scooby Doo, of course, he was the leader, and then Yogi Yahooies, that was Yogi Bear, and the Really Rottens, that was the Mutt. Yeah, he was. They always had his likeness up there as well. So that was a fun cartoon to watch. It really was. And so again, for those of you out there who want to submit your cartoon of the week, you can contact me, go on my Facebook page, and then leave it there on my my page, on my Facebook page in general, or you can get me on the gram at I am the base. Hold on, make sure I have the right one. Hell, I don't know my own Instagram page. Hold on. I'm on Instagram, but it's not like I'm always using it a lot. You go to your notifications there. So let's see. I gotta make sure I got the right one. I'm gonna get somebody else's stuff. Instagram, I am the base. That's what I thought it was. There you go. I don't know your own name. So then, of course, go to YouTube and find the Chris Base channel, and make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you share, because sharing is caring. Last I checked. Can never do without you. Catch me every Wednesday when we do CBI, Chris Base interviews. That's every Wednesday. You catch that from 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Pacific time. And of course, Saturday mornings here on BaseLine, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, and Pacific time is just way too early at 5 a.m. So again, we make sure that y'all stay asleep. We say Sig Muttley was among my favorite cartoon dogs. Yeah, that wicked laugh he would have. Always good stuff. So yeah, you want to submit that, of course, for a cartoon of the week. Please do so. And again, could never do without you. You are the coolest people to me. Always will be. And so as we part company, let's see. I'll just say, well, real quick before we go, the passing of Dick Butkus on Thursday at 80 years old. The man redefined the middle linebacker position. Homegrown here in Chicago, went to CVS, Chicago Vocational, went to University of Illinois, and got drafted by his hometown Chicago Bears. And as I said before on Brian Snow's program, that is very rare that you get a chance to see somebody achieve all the success in their home state. So what can I say? The man was great. The Bears did win Thursday 40-20 against the Commanders in Washington there. I still say it's a damnest a shame that Dick Butkus had to pass away for them to get a W. But it was what it was. I think, again, it's still a fleeting moment. We'll definitely see what happens. But my beloved Bear, it don't look good, Doc. It don't look good at all. So, yeah. So as we toddle along, continue to be safe, continue to be sound, continue to be healthy, and most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace, long live the funk, and more power to you. And especially, be kind.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Base.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in BaseLine. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Base YouTube channel.